the recently wed Ric Flair. Woo! Hi, everyone. Drew's waving like a pageant queen. Hello.
Hello.
I'm Drew here from Jacksonville.
Hello.
I like long walks on the beach.
I believe
And
that
I just
world
want
peace
world
should
peace.
be settled by
You sound like the
free T-shirts.
you sound like the map girl. I believe that maps are essential because
Oh my god.
we
Actually,
all
that
have
just popped
borders,
up
and
the other
maps
day.
are
I
borders,
watched that.
and I don't agree with borders.
And you know what? To break down one's wall.
Okay, we should stop.
Stop. We're gonna chase away our one viewer. Hello, Beef.
Hello, Drew.
Pageant Queen Drew, would you like to tell everyone about the UPS store in Ponte Vedra Beach,
Sure.
which proudly brings you After Drill
That's right.
every day?
Located at 830 A1A North in Tournament Plaza, locally owned and operated by our friends the Duncans, serving the community for the last 25 years. All your printing needs, whether it be business cards, yard signs, planners, brochures, you name it, they got you over there at the UPS store in Ponte Vedra Beach, Florida. You can reach them at 904-285-2345. That's 904-285-2345.
Yo, Joshua, what up with it?
What up, Josh?
If you're a fan of After Drill, please hit that like button, hit that share button, and also if you'd like to, you can mail checks to 1010XL,
Yep.
courtesy of Beef and Drew. We'll take cash. We will whore ourselves out
We'll
for
do
money.
it. Mhm.
It's pregame Friday on the station wide pregame Friday.
Oh, yeah.
And we're getting ready, man. It's a big one. It's like you can feel it in the air, man. It is a big ass game.
Yep.
Sunday. Usually week 2 doesn't bring you the BAG, but we've got one this Sunday down at TIAA Bank Field as Jags and Patriots will hook up at 4:25. JSO, you know it's a big ass game when JSO puts out you better get your ass there early warning.
Mm-hmm.
And we got that yesterday on Twitter. JSO encouraging people to arrive 3 hours before kickoff if they want to get to their seats on time. 1:25 arrival encouraged by JSO. I got to tell you, I appreciate the encouragement. I'm not trying to get down there by 1:25.
That's fair.
Yeah, I'm not trying to.
This much like last year for the first time in a long time, I look forward to Sundays much more than I do Saturdays.
Well, I'm sure right now, especially.
Yes, that's what I mean.
Well, I mean, Saturdays, as the kids like to say on the internet, Saturdays are for backpacks.
Yes.
The turnover backpack.
Yeah,
Very
turnover
disappointing. Very disappointing. Rick Ballou absolutely raged on the turnover backpack, and I
Oh,
don't blame him.
I
As
really
a proud
wish
Noel,
I
I don't blame him.
I really wish I could have heard that.
It's such a dumb thing.
It's very
Just
stupid.
dumb. Speaking of dumb, though, yesterday, the big dumb Baltimore Ravens lost on Thursday night to the Cincinnati Bengals. Somehow the Bengals are 2-0, and the AFC North suddenly looks very weirdly wide open.
Yeah.
As now it's kind of again, we're 2 weeks in. Things can change. But this Le'Veon Bell situation in Baltimore and uncertainty at the quarterback position, or I should say Pittsburgh, and uncertainty at the quarterback position in Baltimore is kind of, it's a weird scene in the AFC North.
I guess there was a report that came out a day or so ago that Le'Veon Bell had plans to return until his teammates publicly criticized him. And if that's the case,
That whole
Le'Veon,
thing is
get the hell over yourself,
so
bro.
ugly, man.
Unbelievable.
It's ridiculous.
I mean, I've been trying to get my buddy, just for, a week or two. I'm like, hey, man, you should sell me James Conner. I'll give you a receiver or something. Come on, let's make it happen. He's like, no, Le'Veon's never coming back. I was like, Le'Veon's coming back. No, I'm sorry for that. Is Le'Veon coming back?
I don't think Le'Veon's coming back.
Oh, no, Le'Veon's coming back.
Le'Veon will be coming back in 2019.
Oh, my
for,
God.
For the Raiders.
Man, he got horrible advice.
Yeah,
I mean,
horrible
advice. He'd be the highest paid running back in the league right now. He wouldn't be losing
15 mil.
Wouldn't be losing. He'd be getting $4 more million this year than he would have if he had taken the deal than he would have for his franchise tag. $4 more million a year. That's a lot of freaking money. I don't know what he was thinking or what he thinks he's gonna get, but I'm telling you, every week that he sits out and James Conner goes out there. Say James Conner goes out there and puts up another 200 yards from scrimmage. Le'Veon, all they're showing you is that they don't need you. Yes, you're a dynamic player. Yes, you're better than James Conner. But if you have a guy who can go out there and put up 200 yards from scrimmage in that scheme, in that offense, who's not, moaning and whining every 2 seconds over money, that's what they're going to do.
It's not to say that Le'Veon Bell's not a great player, because he is. He's a tremendous player. He deserves to be paid like the highest paid running back in the league. But what James Conner's doing right now is, in essence, he's proving the notion that guys like Pete Prisco have, and a lot of guys around the league, that running backs, while valuable, are essentially infinitely replaceable.
Right. If you're a back, honestly, I think you should be pissed at Le'Veon, because really all he's doing is just poking holes in all y'all's theories that you have to be the guy on that team for that team to reach where it wants to go. And yes,
he's burst his own theory to death, man.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me
he said
wrong.
Pay the player, pay the production.
You need a good back, but you got guys like Kareem Hunt and all these guys that you're finding in the late second, early third, Alvin Kamara. I mean,
David Johnson.
You are going to continuously find these guys, and they're going to come in. Yeah, you don't need. And if you want to bounce after 4 or 5 years, guess what? I'll go draft another one, and I'll find someone who's not going to give me this gripe.
Would I say that about Fournette and Yeldon?
No.
Backs are replaceable?
I mean, look, I would say Fournette is replaceable if you were to go draft another one. I don't think Yeldon replaces Fournette. I don't think the Jags are in that situation currently, but say Fournette continues to be banged up, and if Fournette threw a temper tantrum in 2 years about getting paid, which, by the way, he won't do that, if that were the case, I would tell you that he's replaceable. I would tell you the Jags can go out and draft another running back. That's what I would say.
Right. And that was always the argument against drafting a running back in the first place at number 4 overall, was that, you look at the same exact draft that guys were taken in the second and third round that are equally, if not more, productive. And it's not anything against Leonard. We love Leonard. I think Leonard's a tremendous player, and I think he was the right guy for this team right now.
I agree, because I think he
changed the vibe.
You inject Leonard Fournette into this team that had a championship window that nobody even really knew at the time was there. Getting him was huge. Getting him, you don't make it to the AFC title game last year without Fournette. So that being said, he was the correct pick. But if in a couple years he were to throw a tantrum about being paid, I would tell you that he's replaceable. I would tell you that there's another guy you can go out and find who's not going to do that. That's all I'm saying. But as far as Yeldon replacing him, that's not what we're talking about.
And because Yeldon has shown that he's not that guy.
Yeah.
Le'Veon Bell kind of stuck his flag in the ground and said you should pay the production. Look at the production, and the Steelers called his bluff, and the guy that came in behind him is producing. Granted, it's just 1 week, but the guy behind him is producing. So if he continues producing, then it's going to be awfully hard for Le'Veon Bell to make a case that he should be getting $15 million a year when the guy making a fraction of that is putting up similar production.
Sure.
Sunday's game, the odds have kind of shifted. When it first opened up, I think the Jags were like a 1-point favorite. And now, depending on where you look, it's like a pick 'em, or I've seen it even as far as New England, a 2-point favorite in this game, which doesn't really surprise me, based on the track record and pedigree that they would give New England.
Especially with Fournette's health in question.
Yeah. Well, and that's the big question mark, and that seems to be the debate amongst Jaguar fans right now, is if Leonard Fournette cannot go on Sunday against New England, just how dramatically does that impact their chances at winning this game? I'm inclined to think it's pretty significant.
I think it's a big blow. I think if you don't have Fournette, look, but again, though, there is a difference now. Like, we talk about how the Jags offense looked losing Fournette kind of on the fly in the Giants game. We weren't prepared for that.
Sure.
Now, all this week, you have a game plan set with or without Fournette. So I think that helps. But at the same time, not having him and having TJ, it impacts the Jags' chances to win. It's another facet of the run game that, you don't have to. People don't necessarily respect TJ Yeldon like they do Leonard Fournette. And what's going to happen is, what teams are going to do is they're going to make the Jags throw the ball. They're going to make Blake Bortles beat them. The way the Jags basically played the entire fourth quarter against the Patriots in the AFC title game, you saw that the Jaguars were just pretty much afraid to do that. So
if Fournette can't go, it really puts a lot of onus on Nathaniel Hackett to orchestrate an offensive game plan that utilizes the backs you do have and their strengths. And they, without Leonard Fournette, they don't have a power back. They can't use that asset of that facet of their game, and that's an important part of their offensive game plan. So they're going to have to get very creative if they're going to beat New England without Leonard Fournette. Look, it's not saying they can't. They absolutely can.
They can, but it hurts.
It's a big blow, and it's hard.
And they say the defense Austin says defense needs to redeem itself. Yes and no, but also let's keep in mind here that the defense got no help. None. First off, they were down in rotation because Yannick Ngakoue got hurt in pregame. That hurt. You are going against Tom Brady, who's kind of known for these things. So you should, in your mind, know that maybe a 10-point lead isn't enough with 12 minutes to go.
Well, right.
And, I mean, really, if you want to say the defense should redeem themselves, I think the biggest play that the defense should say, we got to be better, is the 3rd and 18. Other than that, it's just Tom Brady being Tom Brady, and then a short field that they got on a big-time punt return from Amendola. I mean, at that point, look, after the punt return, you know they were going in to score. Your defense can only do so much for you, and the offense did nothing. I mean, they did nothing.
Especially in 2017's NFL.
I mean, yeah, let's keep in mind, it was 14-3 Jags right away, and we scored 20 in the game. So it's kind of the same thing you did against the Giants. Go up the field. I mean, that was it.
Look, the offense, and yeah, there is an element of redemption for the defense, but, I mean, the offense stopped moving the ball.
Yeah.
They became so milquetoast and so predictable.
Yes.
It was run, pass every single time.
Yep.
And it became so predictable. And when you're going up against, arguably a genius-level head coach,
Can't do
being unbelievably vanilla and predictable in the offensive game plan is going to kill you.
Yeah.
And it did.
What happened was the Jags were so excited to be up 10 points in the fourth quarter of that AFC title game, they just thought, let's not screw this up. Instead of saying, this is our shot, no matter what, let's go for it. That's what they should have done. I know Doug Peterson talked about that as well, maybe a little bit, whatever. But still, I think...
Yeah, I don't disagree with him.
Yeah,
I mean,
I think in retrospect, again, though, they'll learn from that. Let's not act like, Doug Marrone, just took over the team. It was a big spot. And look, you're going against a guy in Belichick and Brady who have been there a billion times before. It happens. But you can't, if anything, it should teach them you can't always rely on the defense.
Yeah. I mean, my biggest gripe about not doing anything at the end of the first half against New England last year was that it just sends a message of apathy to your team. That you're
kneeling the ball with 55 seconds left
timeouts.
made no sense.
It was very frustrating as a fan to watch because you felt like, what are we doing here? You guys think like you've got it at this point?
And then as a fan, the frustrating thing, and I agree. I think the only move we've talked about this. The only move was to re-sign Blake Bortles. That was the only move.
It was the only move.
But if you're going to do that, then by God, an AFC title game, show some damn confidence in the guy. You're saying that's your guy, you want to re-sign him, and then you're up near the 40 with 55 seconds to go, 2 timeouts in the AFC title game, and not only do you kind of take him out of the offense in the fourth quarter, you don't even let him go take a couple of shots then. Yeah. And then you say, once you're finally down, last drive of the game, you say go, the Jags start moving the ball again because they let him go. And Bortles, to his credit on that 4th and 14, made a great throw to D.D. Westbrook, and Gilmore just made the play of his life to stop the Jags from getting that ball. So
that was
just painful. I just
bringing me down.
Yeah, I hate even talking about it. Really,
it's bitter. But it's time to wash that taste out of our mouths Sunday. It's time for some revenge. It's time to kick some ass. It's time to take some names.
And I really hope so.
I really hope so. And look, if the Jags lose Sunday to the Patriots, it's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world to lose to a great team in week 2 of your season. It's not.
It's just
especially
because
if you don't have Leonard Fournette. But to the positive impact of a win would be immeasurable.
Sure.
It could really catapult this team to a special type year.
It's a big game. But at the end of the day, and we all talk about last year, I think that does play a part. I think last year plays a part leading up to the game. But, once the ball's kicked off, it has nothing to do with last year anymore.
Do you think Hayden is an upgrade from Colvin, Austin asked? I don't.
No.
I think he's a reasonable replacement level player. I think Colvin is a better player, but Colvin commanded too much money.
Yeah, I think that should tell you.
I think if things were all equal, the Jags would absolutely, hands down, not with zero hesitation, rather have Aaron Colvin.
You should. just look at the money.
Yeah. They were very fortunate that DJ Hayden was available. They could have done a lot worse as a replacement nickel corner than DJ Hayden, and he did great Sunday against the Giants. He made a couple of really, really big plays.
But what you saw is that many teams feel Aaron Colvin was even good enough to start on the outside, and the Jags just had Boye and Ramsey, so there was no need for that. So having an NFL caliber starting corner kind of there in that nickel, in that slot, I mean, that's big.
Your step down could have been much more substantial.
Correct.
Because if they hadn't assigned DJ Hayden, then you probably would have drafted somebody in the 3rd or 4th round and said, that's our
And then instead you go and you get Ronnie Harrison, who looks like he's going to get a lot of substantial
who looks like he's going to get a lot of
snaps.
play this year, and he looks like, in the next year or two, he'll take Barry Church's job.
Yeah.
Not to say Barry Church isn't playing great, he is, but this is the life of the NFL. At some point, guys that are making money got to go so other dudes can step up because you got to be able to pay the dudes you have. And Barry Church, he's on this contract and he's earning every penny of it. But, he's got to go at some point because, Harrison's going to have to play because you're going to have to pay some other dudes. And that's just same with the other safety spot, man. At some point, Gibson's going to have to go and you're going to have to put somebody else back there because you're paying Boye and you're going to have to pay Ramsey and you're not going to want to break up that tandem for the next probably.
You're paying.
You want to ride Boye for the remainder of the deal you gave him.
You're already paying Boye. You're going to pay Ramsey. You're going to pay
Ramsey.
Jack. You're going to pay Ngakoue.
Yeah.
Those are your guys right there.
Yeah, that's the core of your defense. You're going to have to work around it.
Yeah.
And that's just going to be.
And you already paid Telvin.
What is the prediction?
Oh, don't do that.
Without knowing what's going on with Leonard, it's hard to make a prediction. I'll say this: if Leonard is a go and he's not hampered, if he's a full go, which I really don't think he will be. He hasn't practiced yet, so it's hard to imagine he's going to go or be a full go if he can. But if somehow he's a full go, I like the Jags a lot. If Leonard can't go at all, I still think the Jags can win the game, but it's going to be real, real hard.
I think it's going to be the same type deal. I said for the Giants game, my final score prediction was 24-20. I think it's the same type of game.
Yeah.
I think it'll be low scoring, kind of ugly. I'm going to. I'll pick the Jags, but like Beef said, I would feel much more confident picking the Jaguars if Leonard was playing. I think Jags win 20-20.
I think I see a lot of people think it's like 3-point Jag wins. That sounds about right.
It says and then we got 20-17 Jags, and it's like, look, the thing is that I don't know how much you can ask the Jaguars to just shut down. Are the Jags really holding Tom Brady to 17 points?
No, you're not going to shut down Tom Brady.
So I'm not saying it's not possible. I mean, look, they only scored 24 in the AFC title game.
The GOAT will eat.
But guess what? If that game was another 10 minutes, they probably would have scored again. I mean, that's just the way that game was trending. They had kind of caught. You said winning kick. Okay. I mean, yeah. I think it'll be
the Scobie-like winning kick.
I think it'll
so.
be that tight. I do. I think it's going to be a really good football game. I think I'll take Jags. I'll take Jags by 3 or 4.
Because like the earlier comment said, I mean, whether it's deserved or not, defenses had a real sour taste in their mouth all offseason about blowing a 20-10 lead in the fourth quarter against that team. The Super Bowl was theirs, and they didn't get it done.
Yeah.
And, sure, a fair measure that's on the offense, too, for not moving the ball and getting any more points, but the defense was given a 10-point lead. And granted, they were going against the GOAT on his own home field.
Ramsey pick 6 to win the game. That would fire me up.
I would run through my neighborhood nude if Ramsey had a pick 6 to win the game, much to the chagrin of all of my neighbors.
Oh, my God.
Or maybe I'll leave this shirt on, and maybe I'll just Winnie the Pooh it and just go no pants.
That was like when Hayes wrote his article about when he predicted the Jags, and he said the Jags win the Super Bowl in OT on a pick 6. I'm like, dude, I would lose my mind.
Very specific, but it'd be amazing.
I would lose my mind if that happened.
Here's hoping, though. Here's hoping. We will bid you a fond adieu. We like the Jags in this game, but it's going to be real hard without number 27. But hopefully they can get it done. We'll find out Sunday afternoon with Nance and Romo. Hello, friends. Live at the bank. I hope you'll be there. We will. See you next time.